What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set.
And we're back in person. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Thank you for the hospitality and having me over here.
Absolutely.
This is not one of our every 10 this is like a we're doing the watch along.
Mm-hmm. We're kind of starting to do it a little more frequently than we have been,
which I am not mad about it.
Me either. I think it's awesome because one, we get to hang out, and two, it's just like I'm not sure for even the viewer's standpoint, like I feel sometimes the episodes in person are just that much more like better because we don't have to worry about a lag between us sometimes.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think that the viewers appreciate like the organic personal interaction rather than they're watching us do it virtually, one screen, other screen, other screen, which like, hey, we're coming up on 70 episodes, and
which is nuts
to think about. Absolutely. And we're gonna, we're eventually, I think at the end, it's like towards the holidays in like December,
mm-hmm.
we're going to be hitting episode 100, which is going to be nuts.
And we'll definitely do something big for that.
Yeah,
that'll be a big grand episode for that.
Absolutely.
And again, we got to give shout outs to people who have been with us from the start, and even people who have been coming in from the last couple episodes. Thank you if you guys are watching for the first time or have been tuning in for the last couple episodes. My name is Anthony Irvin, my buddy Jim Green, and you're listening to the One Set Podcast.
That's it.
And I think tonight we're going to be talking some Wrestlemania predictions, right?
Yeah, we've got Mania to talk about, and we've got a little March Madness Final Four to get into, but we'll do that. Whoa, Bronson Reed. Yeah, so we're recording this on Monday, March 27th, as the final Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania is happening. We are, Bobby Lashley. Yeah, it's like 10:20. We're actually getting an earlier start than we're used to, which is pretty cool. Like I was saying, we have the watch along that we're doing right after this, and that is a 2-hour flick. So we wanted to get kind of a jump start so that we're not up until 3 a.m.
Right.
So someone's got to get up early for work tomorrow.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy. Yeah. But you guys will be seeing that watch along very soon. And like we said with the Final Four stuff, we'll talk about more of that. We're going to shoot that as well. And you guys can check that out on our Patreon. We've been doing our other episodes on Patreon. Link is in the description. Go subscribe. And we're putting out some extra content on our Patreon, specifically with the rest of the NCAA March Madness picks. It's been just a crazy tournament, and like I said, we'll get more into it in that episode, a little mini series, because I think we'll do this one and then we might conclude another one next week with everything that's going to be happening this weekend.
Well, the final, like the championship game is
a week away.
It's next Monday, right?
Yeah. So
at the same time as the Monday Night Raw after Mania is going. Oof.
That's going to be a tough night to kind of try to get, because like I said, we record on Monday night, so it was easy enough for us to kind of get together right now, and it's going to be tough to kind of watch both things, because if you guys are wrestling fans like we are, the WrestleMania or the Raw after WrestleMania is like probably one of the biggest shows to watch, because you get so much of like new storylines. It's almost like the beginning of the season for the product.
It's the start of the next year that builds up to the following WrestleMania, right? Like it's crazy to think that it starts then and there. I mean, obviously a lot changes over the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, things really start to take shape a little bit like around SummerSlam. Like once SummerSlam commences, then it's kind of like, all right, you've got a 6 or 7 month build to get you to Mania. That's like when, let's go back to WrestleMania 30, right? So the SummerSlam before that, Daniel Bryan beats John Cena for the championship,
Mm-hmm.
and then Triple H pedigrees him and calls out Randy Orton to cash in Money in the Bank, and then Randy is the champion from SummerSlam, and then Batista is supposed to come back to face Orton, and then Daniel Bryan was like the most popular that I've seen any over like just insane. I can't remember the last time that someone was that like level over like
I think we were saying at the time, like it was like a Stone Cold type of like over, like he was
okay. So when you weren't watching, CM Punk was
the guy,
giant. Like he was when he beat John Cena in Chicago. I forget,
right, in hometown and everything too.
That was like if you go back and watch that on YouTube, the crowd is just nuts, and Vince is trying to get Del Rio out to cash in Money in the Bank, and Punk just goes through the crowd and basically flips, flips Vince a huge fu, right?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm guessing you haven't seen that.
I didn't see that match.
Okay.
When I started coming back into it, Punk was
a champion, but then The Rock beat him, right?
Yes. Or because I went to Mania in 29, but I had been watching for maybe 2 years prior to that, maybe.
I'm trying to think.
Because 29 was in New Jersey, and Punk was facing The Undertaker at that time.
Yeah, Punk faced The Undertaker at 29.
Yes.
That's the one that you saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just crazy to think. I mean, I haven't been to like a lot of live events, right? We went when we were in the 6th grade, like when we were first friends, we went to like a house show.
Yeah.
I don't think Taker was at that show. I don't remember.
No.
And then
we barely really saw any like big
and there was
stars.
No Stone Cold either.
No, like no Rock, no Undertaker, no. There was.
I saw
a lot of like mid card.
I saw because you and I went to SmackDown that one time.
Mm-hmm.
My dad took us, and I think one of my old friends came with us, right?
I think that's the same one we're thinking of.
Yeah. I think it was The Rock versus Jericho was the main event of that SmackDown. So I can say I've seen The Rock, but when we went to Mania 35, it was like the only WrestleMania that The Undertaker didn't come out at.
And that had to have been the most unluckiest time, because I was thinking, okay, he's going to be able to see The Undertaker, because this kid has been wanting to see The Undertaker for how long. And the one time we actually get to go to WrestleMania together, and, you know, even then, we went to the Royal Rumble in 2015. Undertaker wasn't even in that one either.
Nope.
So it was a dud on that one too, but great main event. You know, you had the triple threat between Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. Awesome match.
That is a match that I have gone back and watched a few times again and again, just because it is so well done.
Right.
Like, so the night after that, do you remember we got hit with that big snowstorm? They had to cancel Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's crazy. Oh, here we go. I know we're just reminiscing on like, so I never got to see Stone Cold in person ever.
Me either.
And I never got to see The Undertaker in person ever.
Which, with the Stone Cold and The Rock thing, since it obviously somewhat, I'm still hoping that we get The Rock this weekend, but the chances are pretty slim at this point, because they haven't really. Usually they'll give you like little hints or clues or like something in the promos of thinking that they're gonna do something like that, but they haven't really said anything about, you know, a possible Rock type of thing. It could just come out of nowhere, but
it would be, and they're not gonna do this. It would be wild if they pulled this like stunt, like Cody gets ambushed and then he's unable to compete, and then all of a sudden The Rock is that would be
ideal. That would be cool.
I mean, ideal for us,
right?
People that love Cody, they want him to get this moment, and I'm for it.
Right, absolutely.
just making sure there. Yeah. So should we? You're just checking it out.
Yeah,
We're good. Okay, cool.
We're good.
We good. Should we get into our Mania predictions and run through the card real quick?
Yeah, let's run through the card.
All right.
So, and at this point, like I said, we're taping on a Monday night, so we don't know what nights the matches are going to be on.
So some of them are announced. Like they have.
Oh, really?
They have 5 confirmed for night 1, and night 2 is still only Reigns and Cody, which is the obvious main event. Yeah, the last time.
So Cody and Reigns are on Sunday night then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought they were thinking that for Saturday.
No, I mean it's going to close out WrestleMania weekend for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, then. Yeah. Let's go.
We'll go night 1. That's the confirmed matches, and then we'll go down to the nights like to be determined, like or the nights, the matches that
haven't really given confirmed. A date yet, but yeah,
and then we'll talk about that Sunday night main event because I am. Okay, we'll get there. Okay,
I mean, not that it's really much of a interesting match, but it looks like they've been doing this pretty like the last, I think, year or two. They're going to do the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on Friday.
Yep.
Who do you think is going to take that? I mean, that's usually a grand scheme of people in there.
Honestly, I think it's Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley?
Yeah,
okay.
Because he was supposed to have the match with Bray. And now Bray is out. And since Bray is out, they were like, well, we don't have anything for Lashley. They're just putting him in the Battle Royal. I think he's going to get the win.
Okay.
Right there.
And we were talking off air how Damian Priest doesn't really have a match, so they obviously threw him in the Battle Royal.
I would not be surprised if it came down to Priest and Lashley as like the
just going to say it could come down to those two, and you know, I'll definitely think that if not Bobby Lashley, I could definitely see Damian Priest pulling it out.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Gunther wasn't the Intercontinental Champion and he was in there, I'd be like, dude, he can get that win
easily.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to the card.
Cool.
Let's go to the card.
They announced that Theory versus John Cena is opening night 1.
Wow.
So it's a nice get everyone in their seats to see John Cena.
True.
Get everyone to tune in because there have been plenty of times in the past where whoever the first match is, people are still getting into the stadium. I think they want that place packed.
Yeah.
Right off the gate. And I think
who was it that opened up the pre-show when we were there? It was 2 NXT guys, but it was one of the hometown dudes. I forget his name.
Tony Nese?
I think so.
He's
in
he
got his hometown win.
Yeah, I think
but then,
so.
like you were saying, there was barely anybody still. Everybody was still just getting into the building and everything.
And then they did, so from where we were sitting in that stadium, we were across from the entrance ramp.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see the wrestlers, the superstars,
right?
As they first came out. So Hulk Hogan's music hits and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get to see Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And then he stayed out at the top of the ramp and I'm like, I can't see him.
See you. Yeah, it was him and Alexa Bliss, right? Because Alexa Bliss was hosting it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we got Miz hosting it this year.
That's right. That'll be fun. He'll be a good host.
He'll make it entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Hollywood entertaining.
Yeah. Cool. So Theory, Cena, who do you think?
I mean, I like the fact that Cena's obviously just taken the fact that I've main evented, I've gone through so many different parts in the card of WrestleMania. I don't mind taking one for the team and just opening up WrestleMania. I mean, you would think John Cena might pull this one out, but with the way that my NCAA stuff has been going, I might have to go with Theory because I haven't been going underdog the last couple weeks, and I've been just getting crapped on.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I mean,
my bracket was all screwed up. I mean, that happens to most people because you have so many upsets, and it's just like, well, I'm done. I'm
and
out.
that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, with it, I think I might have to go Theory.
So I have two scenarios, and I think. Okay, here's what I think. Scenario one: John Cena's not hanging around.
No, this isn't going to be
him losing gives Theory like the huge push, right? That elevates him to like pretty big play. People would take him a lot more seriously. He's great in the ring, and clearly he's doing well in his heel persona. I think him cashing it, the failed cash in, I was just like, man, they're just crushing this guy. And Triple H actually went on to say after the fact, he's like, we still got big plans for him, so just hang tight. And I was like, they're gonna have him versus Cena at Mania. Yeah, and alas, here we are. The other scenario that I could see happening is it's opening WrestleMania, Cena gets the win, and then night 2, Cena comes out and does the open challenge, and then whoever accepts the open challenge takes the belt off of him. So I could see him, because they're in Hollywood, he's already there, right? Him coming out night 2, it's just like when Austin had the KO thing night 1 last year, and then out of nowhere Austin came out night 2 and everyone just lost it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was wow.
Yeah, did not expect it, because like I said, we would have definitely expected him just to do one night, one off, cool. Did not expect him to come out the second night, and that was cool.
Last year's Mania overall, I was like, this is probably the best Mania since 31, and
it was good. Yeah, it definitely was good.
I mean, I don't know. I think I watched back 35 after. Did you watch 35 back ever?
Maybe not all the way through.
Yeah,
but I've definitely seen some matches.
Yeah. Because I wanted to see how they looked on camera versus where we were sitting. And it's so weird. You watch on TV and to hear the commentary for the last 25 years that we've been watching or something like that.
And then when you go, you're not hearing any commentary. You're just hearing the ring. You're hearing the crowd and everything.
And that's it. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a different type of atmosphere for anybody who's never been to a wrestling, pay-per-view or Raw, SmackDown, or any type of live event. It's definitely, you got to experience it. But when you're watching on TV and then you see it live, two different types of experiences.
Yeah. I think Theory gets the win overall. But if Cena wins, I think he does the challenge night 2, because he's not going around the Raw and Smack. He's not doing all that.
No.
So
this isn't going to be a prolonged type of thing with him. It's going to be WrestleMania and he's out of there until they need him again.
For sure. I am curious. I am curious. Like, if he does win night 1 and do the open challenge night 2, I wonder. I bet that they would bring in if I can't see someone on the current roster coming out to challenge him. I think they're going to make it a a big surprise moment, and it's going to be someone debuting or someone returning. It's not going to be CM Punk. Let's be serious,
right?
Okay. Yeah. If it was, the place is going to blow up.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely. I don't think Punk will come back for the United States Championship. Even if it was him going over Cena, I don't see it.
Like I said, it's for, and we thought this with AEW most likely too, but it's got to be like the right timing, right storyline for him. Probably, with the money situation, it's got to be worth it for him to do it too.
Sure.
But I think he's burned his bridges with a lot of things at this point with AEW
with everyone. He's just,
so it's like, do you really want to do this and then 9 months down the road you regret it?
I don't think Vince or Triple H would even bother, honestly.
No.
I will say, if it was like an NXT call up, it could be Braun Breaker, but not everybody watches NXT, so he's not going to get that reaction. You know what I mean?
Right. I have been hearing rumors of Randy Orton like kind of getting back into ring shape and everything. So depending on how ready he is, they could pull something either this weekend or could wait till the Raw on Monday.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I think they want to wait for Riddle's situation to kind of clear for Randy to come back.
Yeah,
so I would think that's more realistic to wait for Riddle's situation to blow over and then have him come back and then Randy come in.
I think if they're both good, that's going to be a SummerSlam match.
I was just thinking SummerSlam too.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move along here. Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul. I mean,
it's going to be another good match because we've talked about Logan Paul a lot on this podcast when we talk wrestling, and we're both big fans. Thinking that he, we both feel he's definitely one of the better non-wrestling promotion type dudes that just came in out on a limb, like a Ronda and all those other people that never had any type of like.
He's easily better than half of the roster.
Yeah,
his match. All of his matches, really. His tag match with The Miz, that was last year, I think.
Yeah.
It was the tag match with The Miz. Then he had the one-on-one match with The Miz at SummerSlam. He had the match with Roman at Crown Jewel, which was like
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that watch-along.
We did the watch-along for that, yeah. So
because you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I hadn't.
And yeah, I'm pumped for that match because you take Logan Paul and you take Seth Rollins, it's gonna be.
It could go either way, and that's the thing. Like you don't know how it might go because I can out of like other than obviously Theory and John Cena, I can see Seth and Logan going more than one match.
Yeah,
so you can see this going in a continuation. I can see Logan maybe getting the first win. Where in the second match, Seth gets it, and then they go for a third to even it out.
They do the rubber match, which would be like
a SummerSlam final match type of thing.
Yeah, I could see them stretching out that program 100%. I mean, and they're just going to be fantastic if they go 3 matches. I think Seth wins 2 of the 3. I think that makes sense. He's like the actual wrestler.
Yeah.
So
but I can definitely see Logan pulling the upset, giving him his WrestleMania moment.
I think his brother gets involved and Seth doesn't have like any alliances with anyone.
No.
So I think if Logan gets the win, it's like there's like some screwy nonsense that goes down.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not going to get Logan Paul and not have his brother, end up at WrestleMania.
Right.
It's too much of gold.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'll go with Logan getting the win. Actually,
okay.
That's where I'm leaning. Because like,
again, I'm going underdog. So
yeah. Neither one of them get hurt or have anything to gain from a win or a loss. So it's kind of just like
that's why it's hard. I mean, they're either one of them can take the loss, and it's not going to hurt either one of them,
right?
Because Logan hasn't lost. Well, he has lost. Yeah, he lost to Roman, obviously, but he hasn't really lost in a bad way yet,
right?
Where it's going to hurt him.
Well,
so
he hasn't been like severely beaten down. Like his match with Roman, he looked fantastic. He just happened to eat the spear and the pin at the end. So
yeah, and minus the injury where he was out until the Royal Rumble, but even then he was pretty decent in the Royal Rumble.
Dude, when he took the camera and he went off the top to I was just like, no, he didn't. That's
perfect.
So good.
Perfect.
Okay, let's move along here. You went Logan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Logan.
Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control.
There's a lot going on between this, and I'm sure I think we talked off air about a lot of different things with this match of how it can go.
So rumor is Trish is supposed to turn, and they're gonna set up for Trish versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I think is what they're talking about. And if I'm going with a heel faction, it's not going to hurt Becky to lose this match.
No,
Right?
I'm gonna say
Damage
pretty
control.
quick.
Yeah.
That Damage Control will get the tag belts back, but it'll be something with Becky and Trish that maybe gets them to lose the match,
Sets that up,
and it sets it up to something.
Yeah.
And then they try to hash it out.
And again,
it'll be a slow burn with everything too.
Lita and Becky being tag champs was kind of more. I feel like it was more like they were throwing Becky a bone because they didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah, I did not expect them to get the belts out of it.
Yeah, I think it just strengthens that trio with the legends in there.
Yeah,
but again, Lita's not going to be around forever.
Mm-mm.
So, and Trish is. I think she's going to do the heel thing, turn on Becky, and then we get that match set up in July for SummerSlam or something like that.
Yeah.
So then that way Trish can go back to Canada for a few months and chill out and keep training or doing whatever.
Right. And can we take like 2 seconds to just say she definitely hasn't, for her age, she hasn't aged a bit.
She doesn't look any different than she did 20 years ago. It's crazy.
Really good.
I'm sure there's work that they're doing. Yeah.
Just a tad.
Just a little bit.
Just
yeah.
a tad. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit more out of my pay grade, but yeah.
Let's move along here. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. I think Brock gets the win.
Brock.
We're all waiting for that F5 moment because Omos is
It's going to happen.
Easily the tallest opponent that we've seen Lesnar face ever.
Yeah.
So just seeing Lesnar stare up at Omos, I was like,
something you don't see
ever. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Why?
And they're definitely playing the card of obviously they're trying to make Omos a lot stronger than Lesnar, where we haven't seen somebody that's been, other than maybe a Bobby Lashley, that they're kind of on the same level of strength, but they're trying to make Omos is this big, strong dude, or even because Brock faced Braun Strowman before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even then, I would say even a Braun Strowman with the strength level.
Yeah.
But they're obviously making this be a big strength thing where Omos is the big, tall dude. How are you going to knock this guy down? But that F5 moment, which we know is going to come, is going to be the big,
It's going to be insane. I mean, because it's really Omos's legs that are just super. So
it'll be the Hulk Hogan going over Andre the Giant.
Andre picking him up and scooping him.
Yeah.
Except in that epic moment, you can see Andre kind of lift his leg to help with the rotation. Brock just deadlifts these guys.
Yeah.
He's a monster. And he just stands there and holds them. I still remember watching him F5 Big Show for the first time as a teenager and being like, nah.
Yeah.
I was just
a monster.
Yeah. But then a few years later, John Cena picked up the Big Show and it was
it's doable.
It's doable. But it was also okay, Cena's
Cena's a genetic freak too.
Super strong. Yeah, it's insane.
So Brock Lesnar.
Lesnar's getting the win. Yeah. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I think that they have built up Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day so well. I love her character. I love what they've done with her and Dominic.
Yes. 100%.
I think other than Damian Priest, not really. He's just kind of not the bodyguard, but he's kind of just in the background, mess with us.
Yeah.
Keep messing up, right?
Keep messing up. Yeah.
And this is tough because it's hard to bet against Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Usually. Especially she was gone for so long and then she randomly returned and beat Ronda Rousey for the belt. And I was like, wow, that was kind of out of nowhere. It was kind of awkward.
Yeah, because I didn't see the whole scenario go down, but I think I turned it on as she got the belt back. And I'm like, oh, she returned. Oh, and she got the belt. Where did this happen?
I wasn't even watching. I was like, I don't know if I was in a bathroom or just upstairs. And I came down and I was like, oh, look, Charlotte's back and she's got the belt. How did that happen?
I think I either saw some type of Twitter thing or just the fact that she had the belt back. I'm like, oh, she's back finally.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
But yeah, hey, Charlotte Flair. But
I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley here.
Same.
Just because
same.
Same. I actually called her winning the Rumble once I knew that she was in it because I was like, nobody's throwing her over the top. They have her so protected.
Yes.
Right now.
I think they, like you said, they've built her up too much for her to lose again. And I think this is her moment to go over Charlotte Flair. She's already lost to her once. And again, it's not going to hurt Flair to lose because she's already
established.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not going to hurt her to take a loss.
As far as I know, she's going to Rhea Ripley wins, Charlotte loses, and then she goes away for another 2, 3, 4 months or whatever.
And then she'll come back.
And then she'll come back for SummerSlam, right?
Yeah. So I definitely agree. I think Rhea Ripley gets it. And I think this is what sparks up the thing with the Judgment Day, that I think she's going to start, puffing her chest out even more. Because especially if Finn and Dominic don't do too well, and Damian, she's going to start being like, well, I got my match won. What happened to you guys?
Yeah.
So then I think that's when it's going to start showing the default.
That makes so much sense. Actually, I didn't even think of it that way. She's going to try to take over as like the leader. Because right now it's like Finn's the leader, right?
Yeah. Although it kind of seems it goes back between Finn and Damian, but I think, I would definitely think Finn is
there's no
sole leader.
There's no like Edge built the Judgment Day, right? Like he was the guy that made it,
created it. Yeah,
so
because Damian was the first person he brought recruited, right?
Yeah, because it was Edge versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania last year, and then the camera cuts and it's just Damian Priest on the outside looking up at AJ, and then it's like a awkward moment, and then all of a sudden Edge gets the win, and then the next night it was Edge and Damian were like a thing, right?
Yeah, so I think we saw like the first promo of it.
Yeah,
that they're cutting in the promo in the ring. Then I think they brought in Rhea. Then I think they brought in Finn or something like that. That's when they started.
Yeah, they brought in Rhea, and then they were trying to get Finn to join, and he was like, "No." Yeah, and they came out, and Edge was like, "Oh, you came to your senses," and then Damian was like, "Yeah, we need to trim the fat," and then they just beat.
Yeah,
they beat the crap
out
of Edge.
That's right. So that's how Finn came, because they.
And then Finn.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That was Finn's heel turn.
Good move.
Yeah, and Finn's been great to watch in this.
I'm glad he's getting this, because it's been
because before he was just a babyface, like cool wrestler.
Since he lost the Universal Championship, it's like he kind of just went back down, and he's been working his way back up. So I think with the little faction he's been in, it's been kind of bringing his credibility back up.
Yeah, it was great to see him, because he was in NXT there for a little bit.
Yes.
It was great to see him. He was working with Gargano, and he was working with Adam Cole, who was still there at the time.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, glad to see him back in like some important matches. So all right, so what we got next?
Okay, so these are, because we're gonna do the Roman and Cody thing last. So these are the matches that are not confirmed for either night 1 or night 2.
Okay.
And we're gonna see Bad Bunny at Mania. There's no way that he's not gonna be involved there, right?
Yeah. We'll see him in some type of form.
Yeah. Okay. Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Tough one. Could go either way. I think
it's very tough.
I think with Asuka having been gone and then coming back with like the new Kana like face paint.
Yeah.
Hard to bet against her.
Hard to bet against that. Right? And Bianca's been. I mean, I'm a fan of her. I think she's been doing good. I mean, she's one of the more athletic women in the.
She's been champion since last WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Yeah. She's had it for pretty much a full year at this point.
Yeah.
And
so
it took her a little bit to get her thing established.
It was Mania 37 that she won, and then Becky returned after having the baby, and then literally rock bottom, pin 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody's like, what happened?
So what happened? Okay.
Let me take this from you.
Yes. Oh man. I mean, I've been playing that video real just
Yeah.
because there's so many different versions of that one.
Uh,
Cheyenne hates it, but like I went all day today until like 8:30 tonight, and I played it, and she was in the other room. She's like, "I hear that."
comment below if you know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
if you
for
know
sure.
what meme we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, I think Asuka wins for sure because I think that
Yeah.
Bianca has, she got her redemption last year
Yes.
because she went a whole, like after Becky squashed her at Mania 37, everyone was just like, well, she's dead in the water now, right?
Right. And again, I think it's another situation like we've been saying. I don't think Bianca losing is going to hurt anything.
No, she's
I think
held the title
Asuka,
for like a
so
year.
she's obviously got credibility. I think, like you said, they built up Asuka since the Rumble with her coming back with new look, everything. So
yeah, I think
I would like to think Asuka picks it up.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Asuka too.
Yeah. All right. Triple threat Intercontinental Championship match. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. I am looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
for sure.
That'll be good.
Tough to pick. I think they are obviously super behind Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Walter.
I
hate that they changed his name to Gunther.
Me too. Yeah.
Why they didn't keep Walter, I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, watching Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa right now on
Taz 2.0.
Taz 2.0. Yep. Yeah. Again, and we'll get back to Cody when we get to that match. And Solo is undefeated, so I feel like we're gonna get a screwy finish here just to protect Solo's.
So I think they have him in the Battle Royal most likely. I could be wrong.
I mean,
but I would think they would. I could have thought they would probably.
If not, he's gonna be involved in. I mean, both the tag match,
100%
with the Usos.
Yes,
and oh god, that setup was awkward.
Yeah, which I think that tag match is going to be really good too.
Oh, got him. Crossroads. But there's a lot of dead time here, so. I'm just.
we got.
I'm just waiting for the Usos.
It's 10:55, so we still got 5 minutes of Raw.
1, 2. Foot on the rope, nice
finger.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
It's so good. And RKO.
Get down here. All right.
I like how the move looks. It just doesn't seem realistic to me. Like he's jumping backwards and then pulling them straight down.
Yeah.
It's awkward to me. I don't know.
But with the Gunther match, I'm easily going to pick Gunther.
Okay.
Like you said, I think they're putting all their marbles in for Gunther. Gunther. So I like Sheamus. I like McIntyre. But I think Gunther retaining is what they're going for.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
It's tough to get bet against him, right? And
what about you?
It's tough. I mean, I don't think Drew is getting it because he doesn't need it. I mean, the dude beat Brock Lesnar at Mania 3 years ago. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Sheamus was a world champion before too, so it's like.
I think he'll eventually get back up to the top and get his Mania moment with a championship, but
yeah,
I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
I think. I mean, I definitely think if Gunther loses, he's not eating the pin.
No,
it's gonna be, if
because Sheamus and McIntyre,
if they give Sheamus the win. Oh, here comes the Usos. Yep, called it. And then we're gonna get Kevin and Sammy.
Yep.
If they give Sheamus the win, it's gonna be Gunther just lays waste to Drew, and then Drew gets up and eats a bro kick, and then Sheamus beats him.
Right.
Again, that was a weak super kick. Honestly, rock bottom
with a swing. Swing bottom.
No way he eats the pin. Yeah, they're not going to let Cody eat the pin to Solo before his match with Roman Sunday. Come on
now. Thanks.
If anyone thought that was happening, oh, here they come.
Thammy.
Peanut butter and cheese with mustard Thammy. Man, shout out to your mom for bringing that to my surprise birthday party. That was so cool.
She had texted me and she was like, what was that sandwich that Jim had again? And I'm thinking like, okay, because you're not going to have, because you're not that type of person that just eat that type of sandwich.
Love you, Ma. Thanks. Yeah,
Here we go. Ugh.
Yikes. Umaga.
Nah. Crossroads.
Yoink. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, Solo is not undefeated anymore. Well, they needed to give Cody more momentum going into Sunday, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys with the Bloodline shirt were like, nope, that was miserable.
They're like, yeah, wait, camera, no.
Yeah, it's 10:59. Oh, Paul's on the phone with Roman.
You can come out here now.
He ain't there. He's on that limited schedule nonsense like Brock was, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep at it.
Yeah. Now that Raw's about to go off the air. Okay. I'll go with Gunther winning that triple threat match, by the way. It's a matter of who gets the Intercontinental belt off of him? That's tough. I mean, it might be Sheamus at SummerSlam in a one-on-one, so that you give Sheamus that win over Gunther finally.
Right.
Yeah. I'll go with Gunther for now. I mean, the heels have got to get some wins sprinkled across. I mean, when we went to Mania, I was surprised Seth beat Brock, Kofi beat Daniel Bryan, and Becky Lynch won the triple threat match.
Yeah.
I was surprised that all three
baby faces won.
Took the big championships. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. Wow. Hell in a Cell, mind you.
Again, another good match. It's hard.
Yeah, and neither one of them losing hurts them.
No.
Right? It's just going to be a slobber knocker of a match, and I am excited to see what they do.
Absolutely.
Literally, the winner of that match is the WWE Universe getting to see it. Like, no matter who wins or who loses.
Did you see the thing that I sent you the other day with the thing that they're rumored to do with Edge? Supposedly, again, heard this through like only one source, that they're thinking of bringing Gangrel back.
Okay, yeah.
For Edge to do the whole brood entrance, it's just for the entrance.
It's too bad that they can't get Christian because he's
At first, I thought they were thinking Christian because they said like ex WWF star, but that would be cool to get all three of them back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Edge would prefer it, but like for his retirement, right? Yeah.
Again, this is very hard.
Yeah. But because of the Rhea Ripley thing you said, like, I mean, we didn't even get to Dominic versus Ray, but Ray's winning that match. Let's be serious, okay?
Yeah.
They've been hyping up Dominic as this punk kid all this time, and Ray saying, I'm not going to do it, and then he finally, breaks because Dominic's telling Ray's wife to shut up, his mom.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And that's down at the bottom of the card here. But
so
yeah,
if I had to,
I'm gonna go with Edge, just so that Dominic gets the loss, Finn gets the loss, Damian doesn't do anything, and Rhea's like, I got this belt. What did y'all do? Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And I think this is the fact because Edge has been getting beat down a lot, other than the fact that, him and his wife won the last match with Finn and Rhea. but singles wise, I think he's been losing to the fact. So I think this is the time where Edge finally gets the win over everybody from the Judgment Day, and he's finally done with this thing. And then we, like I said, we get that Rhea Ripley situation. Right. So thinking of it that way, I think I'll go with Edge. I was really thinking Finn because I love the Demon. I love that they're going to do that again because it's at first I was mad they weren't really doing it like they did in NXT, but I started to like how they only used it for pay-per-views or big circumstances instead of like overkilling it.
Yeah, I think they've only really done it like a handful of times since he came up to the main roster, which is like, it's not even once a year. It's like real seldom that they use the Demon.
So I'm looking forward to it because I think this is the first time that we are going to see the Demon at WrestleMania, I think.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to like a decent like entrance.
He did it at SummerSlam, but the Mania entrance is gonna be off the charts, man. I'm
looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to
both the entrances are gonna be great.
Yeah.
Because they're almost the same like demonic type of thing with it. And if we do get the Gangrel thing, that's gonna be,
wild.
I mean, really good. I mean, I'm not sure if the newer generation is gonna appreciate it as much, but like the generation like with you and me and like the people that grew up with the Brood and everybody,
Attitude Era. Yeah.
So everybody's going to love that if that actually happens. I can see it definitely happening though.
For sure.
So Edge, yeah.
Okay, these next two matches are like, it says Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match. So they're literally just throwing them a bone here.
Yeah.
So there's no like real storyline behind it. I mean,
no,
it's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. I mean,
we haven't picked any heels yet, but I'm not too confident with what the heel team is. But I can see Ronda and
Shayna picking
it up the win.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
So I'm going to go that way. That'll be our heel one.
The face win would go to Liv Morgan and Raquel just because Liv had like a solid year. They gave her the belt. She is definitely a fan favorite.
Absolutely.
But in a match where like nobody's super invested in it, I would say just let the heels get that win. Especially you have Ronda Rousey, who's a giant name, right?
Yeah.
And Shayna is, tough, right?
Yes. And I think a lot of people have been wanting to see those two team up together. So
Ronda is apparently working through an injury of some sort right now. And I think that's why the other three teams had to qualify to get into that match. But then Ronda and Shayna just walked out and said, oh, yeah, by the way, we talked to Adam Pearce and we're in the match. Like, they didn't even have to wrestle to qualify for it. So,
like, give us the match. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Next one, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, which is like an odd pairing.
I saw them tonight and they both do this. Like, Ricochet is basically just copying off of Strowman, and I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of.
But he kind of has his.
It's kind of goofy
mannerisms too, like his whole superhero gig thing. But he still mimics everything that Strowman's doing. So I'm like, I don't like it. Like, he doesn't have his own thing. It's an odd tag team.
Yeah. I mean,
to say the least.
It's fine. Not every tag team has to be like, okay, these two make sense together. Right. It's an oddball pairing. That I guess it can work. Those two versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders.
Yes.
Ivar.
Ivar.
Shout out to John Alba, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go Street Profits.
I was going to say I think Street Profits take it too.
I want them to get their moment because I've been digging them for a little while.
Well, I've thought that they've been great ever since I first saw them. I remember.
I didn't really see much of their NXT run, but I know that's where you really picked them up, right? In NXT a little bit? Or?
So actually, one of our friends that is into wrestling, he went to like an NXT house show, and he was texting us in our group like, yo, there's this new tag team. They're called the Street Profits. They're awesome. And he's like, they're not on TV yet, but they will be. And he was like raving about them. I was like, okay, I'll see him when I see him, I guess. And then
Yeah.
I got to see him, and I was like, okay, these two are fun to watch, and they're
Yeah.
great in the ring,
Yeah.
So,
and especially since Angela Dawkins, like he's kind of dropped some weight, and he's definitely looking more in shape than what he did when he first came in, because he was definitely, I mean,
a little beefier,
a little beefier.
Yeah.
I mean, Montez Ford has been, ungodly athletic with his height that he gets off the top.
Off the top turnbuckle is like, I don't think I've seen anyone go airborne that high before.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He can basically almost like touch the scoreboard up there.
Yeah, for sure. Usos, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. It's tough. And this goes, also along with Roman and Cody. It's kind of like,
I think the Usos are going to retain.
Okay, I'm gonna say Kevin and Sami. I think we've been on the same page for everything else.
Yeah,
up to here.
Because I think they would like, especially for. I mean, is Zayn and Roman are still fighting, right? At Mania, are they or no?
Zayn and Roman.
Yeah, are they still or no? They did that at the other.
They did that at the Chamber.
Okay, so never mind. Because I was thinking they wanted to kind of.
There were talks that people were saying, "Oh, you can't have Cody going against Roman. Now Sami Zayn is too over."
That's right. They did it at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my thing still stays the same. I think the Usos retain. It's going to be a good match, but I think because you're going to want to lead that into the Roman Reigns and Cody match, so you can get. Obviously, then you're definitely going to get Zayn influencing that match in some type of way. So he's going to come out and help Cody in some type of way.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure if it's going to be a good or a bad thing yet. It can go either way, like we've been saying the whole time.
I think,
but yeah,
I think, because the rumor is also that the next pay-per-view, I think, is Backlash, and we're supposed to get Roman and the Usos versus Cody and Kevin and Sami, which is like, duh. Like, it's already almost a thing now, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So yeah, we went two different ways on that.
That's fine. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. Rey's getting the win here. Like, I don't.
I would think Rey, but I was thinking if this is his retirement match. I'm thinking the same thing what they did with Kurt Angle.
It's the torch. It's the torch passing, right?
That's what I was thinking too. I mean, if he was gonna let his son, be like, okay, I'm giving you blah blah blah, the whole shindig there, you would think, okay, Dominic just gets the unaccepted or like the upset, but I'm still thinking in the back of my head with the Rhea Ripley thing, if they're trying to think that way, Rey's gonna get the win.
You said that, and I was like, yeah, I like that.
Because, like I said, they've been building her up so good. That would be the next thing they have to do in order for her to start establishing herself as even more of like a leader, if that's the way they're trying to really establish her.
Right.
So I'm 50-50 with it, but I'm probably gonna have to go the same way as the fact that Rey will probably get the win, so that we get that potential Rhea Ripley storyline.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
The big kahuna.
Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I mean,
what we've been saying this whole episode, this can go either way.
Yeah. I mean, all signs seem to indicate that Cody's going to be the one to topple Reigns' reign. Yeah.
Reign.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stock in Cody, right? I'm just going to say Cody Rhodes gets the win here. It's hard because Roman winning, it won't surprise anyone.
No.
Right? I mean, he came in the SummerSlam after COVID hit and won the Universal belt the next week at Payback. And and he's been Universal Champion ever since then. Went on to double pin Edge and Daniel Bryan at 37. Took the WWE belt off Brock Lesnar at 38, which that match got kind of weird, but apparently Roman got injured in the match.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So
I think what happened, but yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to like really think like, okay, he double pinned Edge and Daniel Bryan, and then he beat Brock Lesnar multiple times. I mean, how many times did he go against Brock? Seriously.
Right.
Like in this run. I mean, obviously they face each other a ton of times.
A lot.
In the last 10 years.
I'm glad they kind of moved away from it, because
it was,
if that was just going to be the whole shindig of his run, that'd have been like, okay, can he, I mean, is this the only thing they can really give him? But I'm glad they've been kind of just giving him different people and showing that they're trying to at least establish. So, I mean, even though this is the best, again, like I think we've said this in older episodes, this is the best Roman we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Undoubtedly.
Other than when we saw a couple years back when they were just they're still shoving them down the throats, but not as much as what they did when they were really shoving and
it's a lot
down our throats.
It's a lot easier to swallow now because his character is great. I mean,
yeah,
it's getting a little old, but they've kept it. They've kept it, like, especially with like the Sammy stuff. And
if they didn't have this
stuff.
Sammy thing, it definitely wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah,
the Sammy thing is what's been keeping this storyline going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was just Cody and him, because like you said, him and Cody didn't have any type of background,
right?
So they had to formulate it. So the Sami Zayn thing was really what was keeping the whole thing going,
right?
But I think after that one promo with Cody and Paul Heyman, I told you, I'm like, all right, now
we can get invested.
Now I'm into it,
yeah.
Because then they brought Dusty into it, and the whole
they made it personal.
Angle that again, yes, making it personal. So I was like, all right, I'm all in now. So now I'm definitely in for the match, because I was wondering how they were going to play into it because they had no background to go off of.
Right.
So I'm excited for the match.
Yeah, it's going
either
be
way.
fun.
I mean, it's Cody is a great wrestler, Roman great wrestler. So it's definitely going to be a good match. Very hard to decide.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
you said you're going with Cody.
I kind of don't want to, but it just seems like they're trying to build him up to be like the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they get him to topple Roman Reigns, then everyone will take Cody as like, okay, he's the face of the company at this point, and
then the rumor of Triple H designing like a new belt.
It seems like they're going to do away with the two separate belts, which like they do the two belt thing and then the unification thing.
Yeah.
And then once they mold it into one belt.
Because there was one thing saying that Hunter really hasn't been a fan of the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
So you could kind of get Cody winning and then that title being changed into something else where Roman has his one belt, Cody has the other.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
so I'm still kind of undecided.
It was
Roman and Cody.
It was nice that they started having the Usos defend just the Raw Tag Team Championships or just the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So then it was like, okay, maybe they're gonna break them up, right?
Now is the Uso and KO and Sammy match, the tag team, is that just for the Raw or is that for both the titles, or is it just for one of the titles?
It's for both.
It's for both. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I seem to think that, I mean, I think that Uso match is going on night one. I pick Kevin and Sammy to win, and then I think Cody wins night two, and then the three of them celebrate as the new champions in the ring, and it's kind of like, okay, the bloodline just got toppled at Mania kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then in the other retrospect, it's if the Usos lose and Roman retains, then Roman can start flipping out on the Usos, and then we can start seeing the cracks in the bloodline really start to ripple, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. Or you can get Jey Uso, causing Roman to lose to Cody. And that can be, because I still have it out that Jay has something behind his back that he's going to try to do something too.
I could see it, and I mean,
so if that's how I'll take it.
Yeah.
Cody will win with a Jey Uso help or something.
Sure.
Because Sammy will try to come. So Sammy will try to come out and do something. It doesn't work. Roman's about to, do his thing. Jey Uso comes out, does something. Cody gets the win.
The ref gets knocked out, and then. And then Roman hands Jay the chair, like to take out Cody, and then Jay hits Roman and turns on him.
So
yeah, I could see that.
That's my way of if Cody wins. So I'll say Cody wins by like
a scenario
of that, and like a quote unquote helping scenario, but because he's not going to know because he's either going to be dead on the floor.
Roman just losing clean and simple. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
No,
right?
It's not going to be a clean. It'll be something happening between either Sammy trying to do something or one of the bloodline, aka Jay.
Yeah, I really don't think it's like. I mean, The Rock could cost Roman the match. We've talked about this before too. Like if The Rock's music hits. And then Roman is distracted, and then like Roman's standing there, and then Rhodes goes up behind him, yanks him back, and then crossroads.
Yeah,
it could be something like that too. I mean,
easy. Yep. Yeah.
There's a couple ways that they could go to get Cody the win, but like I said, it's not a clean loss.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a clean win for Cody. Yeah. But so yeah, I'm gonna go with Cody.
Okay.
And with those type of scenarios, so
nice. Yeah, I think Roman just outright beating Cody would just take all the stock off of Cody Rhodes in general. Like, I think people would just not take him seriously.
No. In that way, that's the only one of the matches that will say, like, Cody losing will somewhat hurt him because you have all that build up.
It definitely will.
And for nothing. It's almost the same way with Rhea Ripley. All that build up, and if she loses, like, okay, then what were you making us all, hyped up for?
Yeah, what were you hyping her for? Doesn't make any sense.
So
those are our Mania predictions. Should we move on and just quickly chat this March Madness Final Four, or we're saving that?
Yeah, we're gonna save that.
Okay. Did you save it?
No.
If you know that reference, in the comments right underneath here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So then, if you guys want to see the March Madness stuff, by the time this gets out, it's already probably going to be on the Patreon. So go subscribe to the Patreon, and you guys can check out the Final Four and our championship predictions. And these were our Mania projections. Drank. Predictions. So either way, this is going to be I'm hoping this is going to be another good Mania weekend with all, because from what we were predicting and how hard some of these matches were, I'm hoping the matches are going to be just as good as trying to decide on some of these winners.
The lack of predictability is really nice.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I'm looking forward to it. Finally at Mania, another Mania. So looking forward to a good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a tough job to top what they did last year, because like I said, last year's show was really
good.
They had Austin on both nights. I mean,
yeah,
that definitely helped a lot, right?
And he didn't do bad. He actually, because I was like thinking he was not going to really. He obviously wasn't going to be the Austin that we knew, but he held it together pretty well.
Dude, he ate a suplex on the concrete. I was like, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He's in his 50s. Did he really just do that? That was crazy. I do think we see him in some capacity this weekend.
Okay.
I if we don't, I think we see The Rock there.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
For sure.
Well, let us know in the comments what you guys think for your WrestleMania predictions. And if you guys are going to WrestleMania, let us know, or let us know where you're going to be watching. And, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been another episode of One Set. Anything else before we tune out here, bud?
Love all of y'all. Thank you so much for your support. Until next time.